Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, NFL Week 17, 16 games in the books. Our 15 games in the books for all the teams. A lot going on this week. We have pro wrestling, we have college football, we have NFL. So, Week 16 in the NFL was 11-5 on the straight-up picks, 8-8 against the spread, 9-7 on the over/under, 58.3% overall. Year to date, 148-92 on straight-up picks, 124-116 against the spread, 118-122 on the over/under, 54.1%. Starting the year at 45%, I'm definitely happy with that. Obviously, I want to be over 60, but you know what? We're going to take what we can this year. It's been a unique year. We get a unique playoff chase going on. So right now in the AFC, Baltimore has clinched the playoff berth. They are currently the number 1 seed at 12-3. Miami has clinched the playoff berth. They are currently the number 1 seed number 2 seed 11-4. They lead the East. Baltimore leads the North. Kansas City at 9-6 leads the West. Jacksonville 8-7 leads the South. Currently, the 3 wildcards are out of the North. Cleveland at 10-5. We have Buffalo at 9-6 out of the East. Indianapolis 8-7 out of the South. We have 3 other 8-7 teams currently: Houston, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. Vegas is 7-3. Denver is 7-8 for Vegas, 7-8 for Denver, both out of the West. 2 games left. A lot can happen. Buffalo last week was out. This week they're in. So much is just teeter-tottering for the AFC. On the NFC side, the picture's a little clearer, but not much. We have San Francisco at 11-4. They've clinched the West. They are currently number 1, three-way tie for the number 1 seed, with Philadelphia, who's clinched playoff berth, but they haven't clinched the East yet. Detroit, who has clinched the North. So we know Detroit and San Francisco will be 2 of our division winners. Tampa Bay currently leading the South at 8-7. Dallas, the leading wildcard team, they've clinched the playoff berth, but they're 1 game out of the East. 1 game out of number 1 seed. Then Vegas at 8-7. The Rams at 8-7. Seattle at 8-7. That is what your playoff picture looks like in the NFC. Minnesota, Atlanta, Green Bay, New Orleans, all 7-8. Chicago is 6-9. Yeah, it gets murky from there. So we have 16 huge games this week. We have playoff implications. We have teams that are eliminated that can affect the playoffs. So it's going to be wild. So the first game Thursday night, we have the 6-9 New York Jets versus the 10-5 Cleveland Browns. Cleveland's favored by 7. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 36.5. Now remember, Cleveland right now is the number 5 seed at 10-5. That means they are 2 games out of the North Championship, their North title, behind Baltimore. So a win or loss, a loss by Cleveland and a win by Baltimore, Baltimore can wrap up the North. Or if Baltimore loses 2 straight, Cleveland wins 2 straight, then they're tied. I think Cleveland has a tiebreaker. Cleveland can still get number 1 seed. So still a lot going on this week and next week. Next up, we have the Detroit Lions, 11-4, already clinched the NFC North, going against the Dallas Cowboys, who are 10-5. Now the Cowboys are in the playoffs, but they still have a shot at the division and a shot at the number 1 seed. Same way with Detroit. So this game could actually affect the number 1 seed as well. Got a head-to-head here. Dallas is favored by 6 in Dallas. I think it's going to be closer than that. I got Dallas winning, Detroit covering the 6. I'm thinking field goal, under on the 53.5. Now we have the first spoiler possibility. The 3-12 Arizona Cardinals, who are eliminated from the playoffs, against the 11-4 Philadelphia Eagles. What is worse time for the Eagles right now to play a team that has nothing to lose? It doesn't matter if Arizona loses. So they can just pin their ears back and go for it. That is bad for Philadelphia, who's trying to clinch the North, who's trying to get the number 1 seed. Philly's favored by 9.5. Philly's a great football team. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 47.5. But that's one of those what if kind of deals. So we could have spoilers there. All right, now NFC 6-9 Bears. They have to win out with a lot of help to make the playoffs. Atlanta Falcons, who are 7-8, they need help as well. So they are currently, one of 4 teams that are 7-8, and they're in the South. So I mean, they're only a game out of the South. They are 7-8. Tampa Bay is 8-7. So I mean, they still can win the South title. So they can still find a way to the playoffs. Chicago's favored by 3, but they're at home. I am going to go ahead and go with Chicago here. The Bears winning, covering, and over in the 38. Jacksonville Jaguars 8-7, hosting an eliminated Carolina Panthers who are 2-13. Again, Jacksonville doesn't need this. They don't need a team that has nothing to lose. Jacksonville's favored by 6.5. Do you want the Jacksonville to win? Right now, Jacksonville is leading the NFC South, but they are tied with Indianapolis and Houston. So we have a 3-way tie there at 8-7. Currently, 2 of the 8-7 teams are in the playoffs, and 1 is not. So this is a must-win for Jacksonville if they want to make the playoffs. They want to win the division. I've been winning, covering, and over on the 37.5. The 8-7 Los Angeles Rams versus the 5-10 New York Giants. The Giants are eliminated as well, so this is another one of those. Holy cow! And another eliminated team going against a team trying to make the playoffs. Rams are favored by 6.5. It's in New York though, so the time zone could affect them flying across country. I'm hoping for the best for the Rams. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 41.5. Couple AFC teams that are fighting or scratching for a playoff spot. The 7-8 Las Vegas Raiders against the 8-7 Indianapolis Colts. The Raiders are 7-8. They are currently the 11th seed, tied with Denver, but they are 2 games out of the division. Game and a half. Well, yeah, 2 games out of the division. 2 games behind Kansas City. So, but they're only 1 game out of the wild card. The current 8-7 Indianapolis Colts are in the wild card. Houston, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati are out. So they need a win. They need help. Indianapolis, it's a little clearer. They are currently 8-7. They are the last playoff team in, but they are tied with Jacksonville for the South title. So win here, Jacksonville loss, and then it goes down to the next week. Or if they both, you have a 3-way tie for the divisions. And one team not make playoffs. That's going to be wild. Indianapolis favored by 3.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 43.5. The 11-4 Miami Dolphins versus the 12-3 Baltimore Ravens. 2 teams that are trying to clinch divisions. The 1 and 2 seed in the AFC. One of these 2 teams, more than likely, will be your number 1 seed. Because if Miami wins, they have the tiebreaker. They're both going to be 12-4. Miami's the number 1 seed. Baltimore wins, they will be number 1 seed. And they get that crucial bye week to recover from injuries and stuff. This could be game of the week right here. Baltimore's favored by 2.5 at home. I'm going with the Ravens. Cover the 2.5 and over on the 46.5. I think there will be some points scored there. I don't know if we've been able to say this in a long time. The 4-11 New England Patriots eliminated from playoffs. Wow. Against the 9-6 Buffalo Bills. Ooh, how many years did Buffalo get eliminated early, have bad year? It was a thorn in the side of the Patriots. Now the Patriots can return that. Buffalo is favored by 12 here. Which Buffalo Bills team do we get? The one with 9 wins, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, touchdown, boom, boom, both put up big fantasy numbers? Or do we get one of those 6 losses where Stephon Diggs gets less than 10 points and Allen's non-existent? I'm hoping for one of the 9-win guys. Buffalo's favored by 12. I got them winning, covering. I'm taking under on the 40.5. I don't think it's going to be that high of a scoring game, but I think Baltimore pulls it out. Next up, NFC South, the 7-8 New Orleans Saints versus the 8-7 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is favored by 3. Again, playoff implications all over this game. Tampa Bay 8-7. Atlanta 7-8. You also have, those are the only 2 teams in the South that are dogfight here. I think it looks like it is. So yeah, a New Orleans 7-8 as well. So yeah, so you got 3 teams right there within a game, and now you get 2 of them playing one another here. Either this sets Tampa Bay ahead of everyone else and get that division, or this puts everybody just, again, 3-way tie. Tampa Bay favored by 3. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 42. Let's just have complete chaos in the NFL this year. The 11-4 San Francisco 49ers taking on the eliminated Washington Commanders, who are 4-11. Again, the Commanders can interrupt all this. You know, San Fran 11-4, currently the number 1 seed. They have clinched the West, but they got to clinch the number 1 seed with a 3-way tie with Philadelphia and Detroit. I got the 49ers winning 13.5 is the number on that one. I got Washington covering the 13.5 and taking under on the 49.5. On the 5-10 Tennessee Titans eliminated from playoffs against the 8-7 Houston Texans. AFC South chaos going on there. Houston favored by 4.5. Tennessee can play a part in this. They can spoil it. A lot of teams that can play spoiler here in this week. Houston wins, covers under on the 43.5. And AFC wild card, Pittsburgh Steelers 8-7. Seattle Seahawks 8-7. Both teams right now, Pittsburgh and Seattle. Where is Seattle at? Oh, Seattle's in the NFC, my bad. Seattle is in right now. Pittsburgh is out right now. Both teams are 8-7. So one of these two teams could really be affected by a loss here. Watch them tie. Seattle's favored by 3.5 at home. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 41.5. The 8-7 Cincinnati Bengals versus the 9-6 Kansas City Chiefs. Which Chiefs team are we going to see? The one that can actually catch a ball, or the one where Travis Kelce gets loose and we just have, vintage Mahomes just chucking it downfield all day? If the receivers can't catch the ball, let's get a receiver who can catch the ball. I don't know what the problem is. 9-6. We've already had an incident where Patrick Mahomes and oh my God, I had to go. I can't think of his name. They got fined for speaking their mind on social media. So yeah, Andy Reid. It's not all sunshine and rainbows there in Kansas City. Is Taylor Swift a distraction? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But you know what? Kansas City's favored by 7 at home. If we had the same team as last week, they could lose this. They can miss the playoffs. There is they're 9-6, but we have West here. Yeah. I guess, they have a 2-game lead on Vegas and Detroit. I don't know. It's craziness. Kansas City's favored by 7. I got Cincinnati covering. I'm thinking of the way they've been playing, I'm thinking of a field goal here. Kansas City wins. Cincinnati covers under on the 44.5. The 5-10 Los Angeles Chargers eliminated from playoff contention against the 7-8 Denver Broncos. Denver needs a win to try to get back into this. Denver's favored by 3. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 37.5. Why not do Sunday night? Green Bay 7-8, Minnesota Vikings 7-8. Both teams are outside looking in. Both teams are in the north. Both teams are 1 game out of the wild card. The Rams and Seattle are tied. One of these teams will make the playoffs. One of these teams will not. Minnesota's favored by 2. Green Bay +2 under on the 46. That's going to be the jump off there. All right, so we got Green Bay, Denver, Kansas City, Seattle, Houston, San Fran, Tampa Bay, Buffalo, Baltimore, Indianapolis, the Los Angeles Rams, Jacksonville Jaguars, Chicago Bears, the Bears, Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, and Cleveland Browns all winning. Week 18 is going to be absolutely wild with these playoff races. Currently 2 teams have clinched. With some wins, some other teams can clinch. With some losses, it's just wide open even more. So yeah, should be a fun week next week. But that is week 17 of the NFL season, as the playoff picture gets a little more in focus as we get closer and closer to the NFL playoffs and then Super Bowl. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.